Hello everyone, and welcome to my sketchbook walkthrough, well, flip through. This is a sketchbook from 2016 to 2017, and I'm going to make it a little bit chatty. If you don't want to hear the chat, just feel free to mute me or turn down volume. And here we go. So if you're like me, I never know how to start or break in the first page of the sketchbook. It's usually the most daunting, and what I like to do is either start with new paints that I have, or just start with what I have in my sketchbook kit. Here I started with, I think this, okay, I even wrote it, Holbein Artist Gouache, and I just did little swatches. This was what I initially called my Etsy shop, and I'd had this whole idea of like a painting of what I'd wanted, and I'd wanted like either like lilacs or wisteria, and I did this in gouache. I like to illustrate or just like do little sketches of desserts or food. I find it very relaxing to just do like sketches of desserts, and this was a lemon poppy seed cake. I must have seen this somewhere in a magazine. This was initially a drawing I did in 2012 for my daughter, and I painted it in 2016 because I didn't want to paint over it. I try to fill every page of the sketchbooks that I have, and this is a Moleskine A4 watercolor, and this is the size that I decided I preferred the most. This was an interesting recipe. I never did make this, but I just thought the flavor combination was really interesting, and I ended up writing the ingredients and the recipe, and then decided actually there's like quite a lot more to go, so I just cut this out of a magazine. The recipe is gooseberry and elderflower cake, and it's by Holly Farrell, and I think the book is Grow Your Own Cake. Now this was from a book I read because I love reading about food, and it was called The Coincidence of Coconut Cake, and that was by Amy E. Reichert or Reichert. Sorry if I mispronounced that, I am very sorry. And this was the front page of the book, and I really liked it and thought, I wonder if I could get that in my sketchbook. And actually my goal was, I'd left this page blank for so long, and I realized I just couldn't be bothered writing out the recipe, so I just printed it. And this is actually the recipe from the book. I have never made it. I hope to one day though. This was just any old sketch. This was from, I think it was from like a Bible journaling group I went to. This I thought was interesting. It's a recipe by Bronte Orel, and it's a saffron bundt cake with pears. Okay, yeah, the recipe from Scandi Kitchen. Now this was done in gouache, and it's just sunflowers, and I thought they looked really pretty. I liked the combination of the bright, vibrant yellow and orange and the blue. This is in gouache. I think I just said that. This I'd seen in a book, and it was crepes with lavender, and I thought that looked real. I loved the colours. I loved the green and purple. This was done in gouache. I actually painted over something here, but I don't know what. An out of proportion face. This was from Inktober. I guess it was from 2016, and the word prompt was hungry. This, I really enjoyed doing this. I loved the idea of the raspberry, apricot and orange ice lollies. And I know that they were made, from what I remember, they were made with cashews, raw cashews, maple syrup or honey, and I liked that idea. This is just a cat. Another Inktober. I'm not sure what the prompt was for that. I think the prompt for this Inktober was sad. I actually did a time lapse of me painting this one. These are some muesli bars that I liked the look of. These were in a magazine. I think it was, I'll probably put the magazine in the description box. Something diary. Another Inktober, prompt was hidden. This is just a cool tree, cross hatching. Another Inktober. Another, yeah, crosshatch tree. I actually like doing these a lot. Now this was a sugar-free pumpkin pie recipe, which I still have never gotten around to making actually. I liked this, I saw this in a magazine, it reminded me of me and my sister. Red hair, she has blonde hair. And this was from when I went to my trip back to England, to Plymouth. And there's a Smeaton's Tower lighthouse, and to me it's iconic. It always reminds me of Plymouth, and I just wanted to sketch it. And this was the Plymouth Memorial. I liked the colour of the sphere at the top. This is still from my trip to England. I did this back, I think in January, and it was the fish and chips and mushy peas. I'm obsessed with vinegar, so I included that. And I love my Devonshire cream teas. Always put the clotted cream on the bottom and the jam on the top. Now this was a really cool building that I'd pass often. Again, this was in Plymouth, and it's the Duke of Cornwall Hotel, and I passed that quite often, and so that was also part of an urban sketch. This I did outdoors as part of an urban sketch, but this was back in Tampa, of one of the fountains in Hyde Park. These were done outdoors too, as was this. It was not looking too great, and I just wrote over it. I like, for some reason, incorporating butterflies with portraits. I like the ethereal quality of it all. This is from One Girl in the Kitchen. This is a One Girl in the Kitchen recipe, and it's ricotta coconut truffles. And I liked the idea of it. This was an urban sketch. I actually did this in the place. It was Graham's Place Hostel. It's a B&B, and this is in Florida. I really enjoyed doing these. I saw 2 pictures in a magazine, and one was, it was called Night Magic, I think, the article, and it had some really pretty pictures, and I just wanted to put my own spin on it. I used gouache for these, and obviously, yeah, I used gouache for these. This is when I found out that the quality of the gouache does matter, especially with black. The black I was using, I think a Reeves, it wasn't an artist quality gouache, and you could really tell. And so I then had to go over it and keep going over it with a Holbein gouache, and you could really tell the difference. And this was just testing out 2 watercolor pencils. To the end, I have inside a map, Cornwall. What is this? I had some pieces. Clouds. Oh, all about these. Score. I think that's about it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this flip through or have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below and I try and answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, if you liked the walkthrough, please give me a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video.